Lou DeSorbo is president of Worldwide Environmental Regulatory Compliance Solutions, or the WERCS, a company with roughly 40 employees. Founded by DeSorbo more than 20 years ago, the WERCS is now the world's leading supplier of MSDS reports, the platform for documentation of the potentially hazardous contents of everyday products on retail shelves around the globe.
I'm often wondering if people realize just the sheer number of chemicals they're exposed to every day, whether it's from their shampoo and conditioner or soap to things that are evaporating out of the carpets or the dashboard in the cars, or everywhere we go, everything we do, even the food we're eating, is laced with chemicals. This is an MSDS, and a good MSDS will typically run 5 to 8 pages. It gives you information about what's in your product, and this could be a cleaning product, it could be something for your car, it could be something you're putting on your lawn. It tells you what's in the product, it tells you what to do in case you need first aid from ingesting or skin contact. It tells you what to do in case of a spill or a fire. It's very, very detailed. And what I always found interesting is this is one of the most popular documents that's distributed in the world, and yet very few people, in terms of consumers or regular people, have ever heard of them.
Its small size and flexibility have enabled the WERCS to evolve from a software company to a leading service provider for every manufacturer requiring MSDS reports for world's largest retailers. They've also innovated through a quality assurance hotline and having global customers pay via PayPal.
Most of the accounts we're selling are household name companies that people have heard of, New York Stock Exchange companies, and years ago a fear we would have is when they start looking at us too closely, they would say, well, you're only this size and we can't take a risk that you will go out of business, so we need to deal with larger companies. And but what happens is you get a few believers along the way, you get references, and you get a track record. And really, once you have a track record of success with a number of blue chip companies, that really goes by the wayside. Let's face it, there's plenty of large companies that don't maybe do a good job, and plenty of smaller companies that do. And I think when you're engaging in another company in business, they want who's going to do the best job and give us what we're looking for. In the case of a large retailer we're doing I really believe is a world-changing service for, they referred to us as the silver bullet, and because we had the ability to do exactly what they needed to do through a mix of technology and really mind processing, coming up with solutions. And it didn't take an army of people. It took a few good programmers and a few good planners, and some just using today's technology.
Todd Berry is the managing director of UHY Advisors, leading the high technology practice.
Technology certainly has, because of the revolutionary technologies that came about in the 80s and the 90s with, video conferencing technology, internet, wireless networks and devices, etc., have made it easier to kind of access new markets. And it's not unusual today to have an early stage venture-backed company with 30 employees to have 20 of those employees over in India, right, developing the next revolutionary software product. But what has happened, because the technology has become somewhat commoditized, is that things have become cheaper, and now where we've really leveled the playing field is the access to information, right? I mean, you and I have almost the same access to information as people from larger companies in, Google or YouTube or Intel, et cetera. So really the trick then is putting that knowledge into a business plan that actually derives profits, and surrounding yourself with smart people who can, deliver on the strategy.
The thing about technology, it's a two-edged sword. If you use it the right way, you can get the most out of resources. You think about that example I just gave in customer service, where you used to have to spend a day getting to a place, a day doing the work, a day getting home. Today, chop off those 2 outer days. You've condensed what you can do, so less manpower is required to serve or to achieve the same amount of work if you're using technology properly.
You know, the technology is now a tool, so it's the knowledge of you know, domain knowledge in a certain industry. I mean, you've been in an industry for, you know, 15, 20 years, and you've recognized that, you know, there's end users, there's customers that are kind of screaming for a different way of doing things, a different service. And, you know, the larger companies just aren't providing that service. So, I mean, to the extent that you can then take that knowledge-based information and use the technology to you know, find out demographics and customers and how to get to those customers and how to leverage this knowledge.
The Walmart Green Initiative is a commitment by one of the largest companies in the world to, in a lot of areas, but what affects us here at the Works is that, you know, knowing what kind of chemicals are in the products on their shelves and, you know, possibly even saying, here's some products that contain some chemicals. We either like them reformulated, or maybe these products need to be replaced with a greener product. There's no question about it. As time goes on, being the first with the solution is very important. And you do have an advantage as a smaller company. You're able to react more quickly. There's not as many layers. There's not as much red tape. And even, you know, Jack Welch said that years ago when I was over at GE, is they wanted to be a large company that could move like a small company. And, you know, I took that very serious, and we've always kept that. But I think as time goes by, the requirement to move quicker or more quickly increases.
Now, what you've just seen is a subtle yet very important shift by the Works, growing from a software company to a service company. It's no different than a Microsoft selling primarily Windows in the past, who now offers value-added annuity services embedded in their core products. So what does this have to do with your company's future? If you look at the classic 4-box analysis that we've plotted, innovation across the bottom and product development on the side, before their transformation, the Works was here, creating software for MSDS reporting. But remaining in that box leaves a company vulnerable to margin erosion as the product lifecycle matures. But after finding their new niche as a service provider, the Works moved here to the top right box, providing new solutions through new proprietary technologies, giving them a defendable market position. This transformation allowed the Works to interject itself in an existing supply chain in a way no company has done before. Traditionally, companies who occupy this top right-hand box have the opportunity for higher margins because proprietary processes command higher prices. And over time, the use of technology makes them even more efficient. It's the ultimate win-win situation.